Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Great Stone Rule Well, to the Akim and Akwaf, throughout the four corners of the earth, holding on to the testimony of the Lord and Mashiach Yahushai, sincerity and truth. This Bram Nasha DC camp, short lesson for the hopeful elect. Yeah, so the grinding is going to come to a slow pace, and it's going to come to a screeching halt finally, all right, as the economy keeps on going down the crapper, because once the household management goes down the drain, everything else falls apart, all right. So folks will stop worrying about good roads and good bridges and a stable electrical grid. It's just a sign of Babylon coming to an end, all right. So this is going to cause the uproar of the people, and it's all part of the prophecy we all looking forward to seeing these last days in time, because it's going to cause a lot of people to have that bitterness, all right. So I'm going to get a quick precept. It's going to be from the book of Ecclesiastes, all right. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verses 4 and 5, all right. It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets. Why? Because the businesses are going to have so much difficulty in getting resources to operate at a profitable margin. And then you're going to have the issue of public safety, all right. So when you have public safety, lack of energy supply to a business, it's going to create havoc, So you can imagine a business that's behind on their bills, their electrical bills, their gas bill, their water bill. It's going to be a sad situation, all right? And only these big corporations will be able to stay in power, all right? So all these small businesses, they're going to experience a lot of strains, all right? So Ecclesiastes 12 verse 4, and the doors shall be shut in the streets, and the doors shall be shut in the streets, when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So entertainment is just going to be an afterthought, because people are going to be more concerned about how they could put food on the table for their children, to stay healthy. Yeah, because once somebody's nutrition is compromised, they're gonna become more susceptible to all these ailments and diseases. All right, start seeing children with malnourishment, the bad bone formation, or say bad skeletal formation, scurvy, poor eyesight and all that stuff, lack of proper vitamins, all right. So it's going to create a lot of stress on the family, a lot of pressure, all right. And then people are going to yell on the streets, man. We thought January 6th was was the height of it all. It's going to be much more crazy, all right. And then verse 5 says, and when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fear shall be in the way, all right. So it's going to be terrible, man. It's going to be terrible when you have all these weather conditions, you have all these apparitions, you have all these chaotic signs that the Lord is bringing upon the face of the earth. A lot of people are going to be afraid and upset, and they're going to be nervous, all right. And the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and desire shall fail. So it's going to be a time of plagues. All right. All these creatures are going to be hungry. You're going to be going from one jurisdiction to another, state to state, continent to continent, looking for looking for food. Creatures getting out of the water, looking for food on land. When he mentions grasshoppers here, it's going to be a serious infestation. Because when those grasshoppers, once they reach South America, in fact, once they start to breed in huge numbers, a grasshopper could escape as a pet, and then they start to breed and breed and breed and breed. Before you know it, you have a whole swarm. So it's going to affect a lot of vegetation. All right, all these farmers are going to have a hard time harvesting because the grasshoppers and the locusts are going to do severe damage. All right, so you can imagine all that revenue going down the drain, and then you also have the issue of fuel prices. So just imagine whatever is left behind for it to be taken to the market and be sold at a reasonable margin is going to be extremely high. Yeah, so it says, because man goeth to his long home, and the mourners shall go about the streets. Yeah, so a lot of folks are going to lose their lives due to the famine, all right? And this is just famine, protests, poor health ailments and all that stuff. We haven't even gotten to the part of discussing violence. Yeah, so it's just the tip of the iceberg, all right? So you always have to stay plugged in to current events. So let me just play this clip real quick and then get some more precepts, man.
Welcome back to the show, Congressman French Hill. Congressman, we always enjoy having you on. Let's move on to this. The White House and Democrats keep blaming inflation on a supply chain crisis, but we've got this new development, and it's a dangerous one. There's a growing number of truck drivers now quitting because soaring gas prices are wiping out their paychecks. They're talking $1,000 fill-ups at one time. We're already, at the gas pump. We're already 80,000 truckers short. More than 70% of freight is transported by truck drivers. This is pretty dangerous stuff.
Well, Liz, it's great to be back with you, and you're 100% right. There's nothing more integral to our supply chain logistics than having enough well-paid, competent truck drivers in this country. As you point out, we're short drivers now due to the baby boom generation retiring, many of the Biden mandates on employment, the vaccine mandates by the Biden administration. And now we're up 70% on diesel prices. If you're in a fleet, if you are a fleet driver for a big company like Walmart or J.B. Hunt, you probably have a price escalator in there for your diesel costs. It's up 70% from last year. But if you're an entrepreneur, a self-made truck driver working, you're paying almost $2,000, $2,200 a week, up almost $900, and you're in the spot market for fuel. You don't have a hedge or any sophisticated support.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be rough. Yeah, it's going to be rough for all these independent truck drivers, these small businesses to stay in there. So, hey, you know what they say, when times get hard, people got to be innovative. So, let's see what ideas they come up with. They could make their engines run on water or other types of cheap fuel that doesn't break the pockets. Yeah, so the book of Isaiah chapter 51 verses 19 and 20 says this is the negative consequences of having a poor economy that's going to get out of hand. So it says, these two things shall come unto thee. Who shall be sorry for thee? Desolation and destruction. All right, so this curse that the Lord put upon our people will come upon Babylon also. All right, because they gotta drink of the cup. And the famine and the sword, by whom shall I comfort thee. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in the net. So all these Edomite young men, man, they go out there and start protesting. You're gonna get cut up, swept up. I say swept up in dragnets, by these so-called law enforcement agencies, man. And all these big government entities. All right, they are full of the fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy power. So it's gonna get bad. All these folks are out there screaming and yelling, make America great again. This is it, man. America's already reached its peak decades ago. So it's only about it going down, and it's going down fast. A lot of people don't see it, but this is it, and the elite show their horn, during the so-called scamdemic by breaking out the so-called draconian legislation and practices. So a lot of people are going to have a rough time, adjusting. So the book of Jeremiah, book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 21, all right? It says this: Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and shalt make thyself naked. Yes, so this is the nakedness, man, that we're seeing. All right, the so-called government is being exposed for being inept, for being incompetent, that they cannot meet the people and their needs. All right, everything is getting rough. All those ideas of screaming $15 an hour to raise the minimum wage, what does that have to do with the negative consequences that the people are experiencing now? They got the raise, so now they still have to pay for all this expensive goods and services. So it just shows you that they've been planning this scheme and this scam for a long time. All right, and now the folks that are waking up are seeing the fraudulent agenda that is being passed on as solutions to the people. Yeah, so the book of Jeremiah chapter 5 verse 12 says this: They have belied the Lord and said, it is not he. You know what? Alright. Neither shall evil come upon us, neither shall we see sword nor famine. Yeah, so that mindset of hoping things will get better, it's just going out the window. Alright? So the Lord has already said Babylon is going to be on its way out, and there is no motivational speech that can be given to uplift the people's confidence. All right, no matter how hard they come against the prophets of the Lord, they are bashim Abishai. They shut down their channels, they flag their videos and all that stuff. It doesn't change anything. The Lord has already said that America's got to go. So there is no big surprise. It's just that the elites want the people to be in Wonderland as they take Babylon out of service. All right. So another precept I'd like to look at will be from the book of Second Ezra, chapter 6. All right. So I'm going to read verse 22 just to keep the video short and brief. It says, And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Yeah, so your grocery chain, grocery shelves and grocery supermarkets, farmers markets, you're going to experience a high level of scarcity. All right, so that's the situation that we're looking forward to. It's going to be rough. The elect will have to deal with their faith on a high level and trust in the Lord. All right, so let me play some of this clip.
That's what's killing them.
It's an important point you make. I mean, truckers are so vital to our economy. It's a tough job that they do, right? You've got to hand it to the truck drivers what they do for us in our country. Hats off to them. But you remember when the Energy Secretary basically laughed out loud when she was asked about increasing U.S. production to help lower gas prices? Watch this.
What is the Granholm plan to increase oil production in America?
Yeah, so you could imagine when the situation is bad for so many people, for millions of people. She just spot on laughed. So it just shows you, man, that they don't really care about making life conducive for the American people. And the prophets of the Lord, the apostles, the elders, the brothers of Great Millstone have been talking about this for years. So everything is coming to fruition. They have to force the people, into a lower standard of living. Only the elites will be able to afford gas prices, fuel prices at a higher level. So you can imagine people paying $10 a gallon for regular. It's going to wipe out the whole so-called middle class. Only the super rich can afford those type of prices. So that's going to make the people feel priced out. Just like in the real estate market, people are going to get priced out. Fuel is going to be a luxury, that people cannot afford, especially the middle class and those below. The working poor. So the middle class are going to be the new members of the working poor. All right. So that's the mindset that these elites have. They will not have to price the people out of the system. That's why they want to push this agenda of going green. All right. So I'm going to read another, let's see, another precept. It's going to be from the book of, let's see. Yep, Psalms chapter 73, verse 8. It says, they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. Yeah, so it's no use asking these individuals to solve the problem, because their job is to make matters worse. That's the reason why they were put in those government positions. So there's nothing all these people can do. They can only protest. The elites got the system by the balls. So people are just going to yell and scream. And the elites got to still take Babylon to war with Russia, Iran, and China. So it's going to be chaotic. So that's what we're looking forward to seeing, man. You just got to expect more bad news coming down the drain, coming down the line. Yeah, so that was the point there I came. End of the day, the Lord Hamashiach Yahushua will still have to deliver his elect, because of this oppressive tactics of the elites. All right, so you just got to call upon the Lord Hamashiach Yahushua by Hashem Kakadash in these last days and times. Shalom.